going to be a contest entry for D.W. Jackson's Win a Trip to Japan contest. Today I'm going to be doing a book review of one of his books titled Inexperienced Mage. It is the first book in the Reawakening saga, and I'll be telling you the good, the bad, and the ugly. To begin, I'd like to say a little bit about myself and why I'm entering this contest. I've been a lifelong fan of reading, and I really like adventure stories. I pretty much will read anything from Harry Potter to Hamlet. Winning this contest to me would be an absolute dream come true. Usually my family only has enough money to take a few-day trip to the shore, so an overseas trip is seriously just out of the question for our budget. And if I could visit anywhere around the world, it would absolutely be Japan. I'm really interested in the culture and the history of the country, so it's absolutely my dream to go there. I don't want to bore everybody droning on about how much I love Japan, so let's just move on to the review. The book cover presents itself as mysterious. A cloaked man, a mage, an unknown city. It really piques the interest. The only thing about it that I thought was kind of off-putting is that the cover and the words, they're slightly pixelated. I don't know a lot about the printing process, so I don't know exactly what caused this to be, but it's just a little thing that could have looked better. Moving on to the summary. The book takes place in the medieval queendom of Farlan, a matriarchy where men are seen as second-class citizens with few rights. This is displayed through the book, with the male characters being treated unfairly in all aspects of life, from owning land to purchasing goods. Immediately, in the book, we are introduced to our main character called Mark, who is a young man of 14. His mother, a cruel woman in need of money, has sent him to an academy that trains prospective males in fighting to eventually become slaves to female-run households. On his final day at the academy, which is his auction, Mark is sold to the queen of the queendom for a hefty sum. On the carriage ride to the queen's castle, they are attacked, which allows Mark to escape. Stumbling along an abandoned village, Mark finds an old book that teaches magic. Now, in Farlan, magic is a lost art. It has died out because thousands of years ago during the Fae Wars, for a reason that's not really explained. Perhaps it'll get into that in later books. After his discovery that he can perform magic by referencing the book, Mark hopes to use it to his advantage in sustaining himself in Farlan's capital. To the plot. The plot of the story is fairly interesting, as the reader is instantly thrust into a new world. The twist of the setting being a medieval matriarchy, I found something different and interesting. It's definitely not really something I've previously read about. Although the book does give details on the relationship between the sexes, I really just wish there was further exploration. Perhaps if the story were set back a few months, where the readers could learn more about Mark's life in the academy and how, as a man, he was expected to behave and what he had to learn. Writing style. Pace. This is a fast-paced story with only 170 pages. Basically, everything that happens moves quickly, and there aren't really any dry spots that would bore the audience. This is a really good quality in my opinion, because I've read plenty of books where authors just drone on through different parts of the story that are boring and totally unnecessary to the overall plot. Style. This, I kind of think, is an area for improvement. D.W. Jackson writes well, but I see there's a lot of overused passive verbs, especially the word had. There's just a lot of the word had in this book, and I just felt like it hurt the flow of the writing a bit. Doesn't ruin it or anything, but I just wish that some of the word choice could have been improved. For example, on page 60, it's written, "Her voice was sultry and sent a shiver down his spine." The word was could easily have been removed from here if it was instead written something like, "Her sultry voice sent a shiver down his spine," totally removing the passive verb was. There is also this weird thing in my copy where just in the middle of words there'll be a dashed line, and I assume that was probably due to a reprint. It just looks kind of weird. In closing my review, Inexperienced Mage is a fun, fast-paced novel that I really had a good time reading. While there were some mistakes and things that I thought could have been better, I was left with an interest in the world D.W. Jackson created and a desire to read the next book in his series after the cliffhanger ending. Demographically, I think this book is best for the ages of preteens